And that's a spoil island right there, where that boat's tied up. Spoil islands were made when they dug the channel. Corps of Engineers dug the channel and piled up the spoils into those islands. And you can camp on those islands if you're brave enough. There's a series of them that go all the way down on the east side of the channel. I say if you're brave enough, because most of them have populations of rats that come out at night. Okay, this is my first video out on the water. This is the boat dock, fishing pier, and the causeway back to Titusville. I have to say this is a little more nerve-wracking than I might have anticipated. Okay, now we're out on one of the spoil islands. It's south of the causeway. Somebody else's boat. There's a couple people over fishing on the other side. I call this Titusville's Island of Misadventure. They all have names. I don't know what the name for this one is. I give my own names. It helps me remember when I've been there before. And more from Titusville's Island of Misadventure. This is looking back towards NASA. It's the vehicle assembly building you can just make out in the distance there. And tracking back this way on the island, we'll be looking back towards Merritt Island Wildlife Refuge. These spoil islands are where people generally come to get away from photographers and videographers, but today, okay, now this is on that same sandy island looking back towards Merritt Island Wildlife Refuge. And as we track right, we get into the NASA security zone and the NASA property. You can actually get right up to the edge of NASA's property at the Wildlife Refuge. They close it during rocket launches, at least they used to. I don't know if they're doing that anymore. Now this is where you want to keep your head on a swivel, because this here is gator country. And the only natural predators that gators have here are other gators. They know that humans can't hunt them, and they are not afraid of you. And I think I'm getting about ready to go. Now this is an estuary kind of a deal. It goes way back here. I'm not going to go too far back today because, again, the farther you go back, the farther into gator country you get. And even though I'm trying to test the wind cut filter, I picked the one day. One day there's not a breath of breeze out here. That's too funny. Alright, it's time to pack up our camera gear and go home.